the people they can barely afford to bring a family to McDonald's now because wages have gone up. So has the price of a Big Mac. But liberals don't really get concepts like cause and effect.
Where taxpayer money is involved, when politicians or bureaucrats have unlimited access to taxpayer funds because they deem those funds as unlimited, always replenishable, they will take it to the nth degree.
And what the ONG found is shocking.
And we stood in solidarity with the Starbucks baristas who are striking in more than 40 cities for fair pay and staffing levels. Students and faculty and staff on more than 100 campuses participated in a nationwide day of action.
We need to make sure that the people who do the work to make America what it is, those folks, not the billionaires, get treated with respect and dignity.
What the hell does this have to do with teaching?
This doesn't have anything to do with teaching. However, I was asking myself, so when I did a little bit of digging, apparently the American Federation of Teachers, AFT, not ATF, I'm thinking firearms, AFT union, they do focus more on labor, if you will, as opposed to the NEA, which focuses a lot more on the professional class of educators. So that's the only thing I can come up with as far as her striking for Starbucks. But again, these people, this is all a grip. You got children who cannot read or write. This union collects millions of dollars from their members. Combined, the AFT and the NEA have given over $43 million, I think, since 2022 to both parties. Of course, the bulk of it going to the left, the Democrat. And you got children who can't read or write, do basic math. These people are out here doing everything but educating our children or your children. Everything but. And yet these teachers, many of them on the left, many of them Democrats, we see a lot of them in the news. These teachers will give their hard-earned money. And this is why you got Randi out there striking for Starbucks.
What is actually the role of the teachers' unions? And within that role, how have they affected learning for children?
Well, her role has nothing to do with children.
Okay.
She is a union boss, right? And her constituency are the teachers who are in the union. She could give a fat rat if Johnny can't read. She doesn't care if there's LGBTQIA stuff in the schools. None of her business. Her business is to make sure that union funds that come in from their dues are duly invested and those revenues used to pick candidates who are going to make sure that the union stays strong. Not a union busting person, but somebody who believes in the union. One of the ways that she can do that is by helping these little places that are trying to unionize. Because Starbucks has been trying to unionize for a minute. They were trying to get a union at Walmart. They've been trying to get a union at Target. They've been trying for a very long time to get people to unionize. Walmart has been very successful in busting a union on a very good basis because Walmart will fire your ass. They don't care. They got somebody else, 20 people waiting in line to be the greeter. So they don't have a problem with letting the rebel rousers go. Starbucks is one of those companies that is definitely leftist, definitely left-leaning. So this is a different kind of problem for them because Starbucks, donates a lot of money. Of course, they believe in the same kind of ethos. Everybody likes the alphabet mafia and all of that. But here's the difference. Starbucks also likes its money. It also likes its revenue. And unions feel like you can't get rich on my labor. The only person who should get rich on my labor is me, meaning my union. These are the only two people who should be profiting on my labor. And it's unfortunate because what happens if you give all of the money to the Starbucks workers and you can't improve your products and you can't improve your processes? All of those things start to fail. The business fails, and then the Starbucks workers go somewhere else to work, and the business owner is out of business. So this is the fundamental difference. But Weingarten is just looking to pad her income. That's all she's doing. She's a union boss. She doesn't give a fat rat about anybody else except for the people who pay those union dues.
Thank you all. Thank you all so much for your super chats. They go a long way in keeping us online and pushing out this conservative content. We appreciate each and every one of you. So Nicole is saying correctly that these unions are not about educating the children. They're really there for the teachers. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
But they do a lot. Like their whole campaigns are about the children. So they when they endorse a teacher, they're endorsing this teacher, and they're saying this teacher is best for this community and this for this school, and so on and so forth. So are people understanding that these unions are not really on the side of our children? I don't think people understand that.
No, they don't. The unions are on the side of the unions.
Mhm.
Okay. And for example, minimum wage in California, unions fought for that, and the winners, once they got it, were the IRS and unions. Okay. The people they can barely afford to bring their family to McDonald's now because wages have gone up. So has the price of a Big Mac. But liberals don't really get concepts like cause and effect. They don't get that. Okay. So they can't see a couple of moves down the chessboard. So with Randi Weingarten, I'm not surprised that she's out there doing that. The 501c3 mafia and the unions, they exist to serve themselves and to enrich their higher ups. I mean, Jimmy Hoffa, hey, a prime example. So, or it could just be an elaborate plot by Dunkin' Donuts to destroy their arch enemy, Starbucks.
Yeah. And people, we need to make this clear, because these teachers unions are ruining the public education system. And guess what? So, and I think some people are starting to catch on. So Chicago Public Schools has infuriated parents after being caught spending millions on luxury travel worldwide, despite horrendous performance from the students. So for nearly 2 years, the Chicago Public Schools, CPS, a district already drowning in deficits, failing test scores, chronic absenteeism, was under investigation by the IG, Inspector General, for blowing massive amounts of taxpayer money on luxury travel, overseas trips, and unnecessary conferences. And what the ONG found is shocking.
Principal booked $400 a night Vegas suite for a conference at a different hotel that started 2 days after his arrival and ended after he left. Teachers took a 4,700 7-day trip to Hawaii for a 4-day professional development seminar. You could have zoomed it, by the way. 15 staff trips to Finland, Estonia, Egypt, and South Africa for professional, developmental, and school visits. So not only do your results suck, but you're out there traveling around the country, and because you feel impervious because the teachers union put the mayor in office and put the governor in office, so you can go and do these exotic trips, and then you could just put the kids in cargo.
Meanwhile, at the same time, going against the charter schools that want to do a better job, that have shown the results, you're seeing these kids go to four-year universities on scholarship, the same poor kids that they said that could not be educated because of their background. And then we can't get kids to even attend school, but it's no wonder, because if you look at the teachers, they're doing the same thing. 43% of the teachers in Chicago public school logged 10 or more absences for the 24-25 school year. So the kids aren't showing up to school, and the teachers aren't either.
That's just crazy.
That's sad.
That's like half of teachers missing 10 days of school. And I also think, too, about how short the school year is and how short it feels. There's so many days off. But the report cards speak for what's happening there. The 2025 report card there in Chicago, this is for K through 12. 58% of kids are not proficient in reading. 42% are not proficient in math. 73% not proficient in math, I should say. That's 3/4 of the students. We should be embarrassed that we're letting this happen in one of our greatest cities.
In almost every city.
KJ, I think Brian was saying what I was going to say. You can take that same template and apply it to almost every public school in America. Every city, every state, that template would probably pan out the same way. Where taxpayer money is involved, when politicians or bureaucrats have access, unlimited access to taxpayer funds because they deem those funds as unlimited, always replenishable, they will take to the nth degree. All these professional developments. When I was in school, grade school, middle school, we didn't have teachers having professional development days every other week. And maybe that's why we can read and write.
And the teachers were smarter back then.
Exactly.
Now these teachers are dumb as rocks, and they got all these professional development days.
And you know where they go to the professional developments? They go to some of the nicest places. They have to have the top notch and 5-star restaurants and accommodations. They can't just take coach class to a neighboring state or whatever, wherever it may be, at the least expensive, because that's what you're supposed to do for the tax. When you're on taxpayer dime, your costs are supposed to meet the least expensive, most economical cost to be reimbursed for. No, these people do it and they get away with it because unfortunately these inspections and audits, they don't come every year, so to speak. And once they do come, it's already at least 2 or 3 years behind. And who's going to pay that money back? They're not going to collect it.
No. Yeah. Nicole, and the one thing that expose didn't talk about was the COVID money. You always talk about this. That became a giant Democrat slush fund. And the OIG confirmed that the federal COVID relief money helped fuel the spending boom. So instead of academics and tutoring or fixing learning loss, CPS staff funded vacations.
Absolutely. Listen, when Shelley hit the nail right on the head, when you have unlimited access to somebody else's money, it's like finding a black card. You're like, woo, I can go spend what I want to. It doesn't make a difference. I'll never have to pay for it. The problem that we're having is they spend all of this money in quote unquote professional development, and they're less professional and they're not developed. So we're not gaining anything. Listen, don't get me wrong. I get PD dollars for work too. I go to Vegas, but I actually attend the classes. I learn more. I come back and it makes me a better leader. When they go to Vegas, they spend $400,000 fooling around, and they come back and these kids still can't do basic math and they still can't read to proficiency. And this is our future, America. It makes you scared to get old because who's going to take care of us?
It is. First of all, in Tyronistan, nobody goes to Vegas for a conference. They all go to Poughkeepsie. If you really want to learn something, prove it by going to Poughkeepsie and staying at the Red Roof Inn. But the objective, all this makes a lot more sense if you understand the objective is failure. Okay, there has been a decades-long effort to dumb down the American populace, and we are living there. I don't know if anyone here has seen the movie Idiocracy, but there's a scene in that movie that actually played out during the Kamala Harris campaign. The scene where the president is announced in the movie, and it's like to rap music and a lot of concert type fanfare, that actually played out with one of the rappers at Kamala Harris's, one of her campaign events. So here we are, okay? We sent people to the moon before we had a Department of Education. This has been designed to dumb down. They don't want philosopher kings. They damn sure don't want critical thinkers, okay? If this poppin' politics gets any bigger, there'll probably be a black helicopter outside your house at all times, KJ. This is not the kind of thing that the powers that be want. And look, Nicole, you're absolutely right. When we get older, we better stay healthy for as long as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we need more people like us, and more people that are involved, that are calling this stuff out. One of my favorite movies of all time was Lean on Me. It was actually based on a true story.
Absolutely.
Principal Joe Clark, he said they used to call me Crazy Joe. Well, now they can call me Batman.
There's no right to lock these doors, and I have a duty to inspect this place. This is not a plant cheese game. This is my school. If you want to get in here, you'll apply for a pass just like everyone else. You and your TV friends here. What the hell is the bat for? They used to call me Crazy Joe. Well, now they can call me Batman.
We need more Joe Clarks out
Absolutely.
here
Absolutely.
who raise hell and who demand exceptionalism from our children, from the bureaucrats who are in charge. That's what we need, because right now it's like people they just don't care. They just don't care.
Nope. Well, let's see if our other super chatter cares. This is Terry Ray Nick. Thank you for your $20 super chat. Says, good evening, ladies in Tyrone. You're right about MTG's phony apology. She feels the reality of a small fish in big pond. Tyrone, don't knock Black Elvis impersonators. I have seen a few good ones. Keep speaking the truth. Thank you, Terry Ray.
Thank you.
Well, one more thing I want to add to this about this failure of the unions, or certainly about schools and children. I'll give you an example. We have it right here in Maryland. Sonia Santelises, the CEO or superintendent of the Baltimore City Schools, she just failed up big time. She's going to the Ivy Leagues to lead some kind of center up there. And the students in Baltimore City, they probably couldn't even tell you where she's going on the map. They don't. They probably wouldn't even know where she's going on the map, what state she's going to. But she just failed up big time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I saw somebody else in the chat said, "Oh, here it is. You smoke crack, don't you? Then you crack."
Yeah.
That was a line from Little B.
Right.
Yes.
It kills your brain cells, son. It kills your brain cells. All right. We can go all night with that. I love to say old movie lines. Let's get this train back on track, though. So yes, you guys are 100% right. I just want to say this really quickly because, I mean, this expose really uncovered a lot as far as those luxury international trips. 8 schools spent $142,000 on trips to Finland, Estonia, Egypt, South Africa. I mean, I don't understand this. We're supposed to be here in the United States, the example. We're supposed to have the best universities, the best schooling. Why are they going all these other countries? I don't really understand it. And again, they had outrageous employee behavior. With the $400 a night suite in Vegas, $4,700 stay in Hawaii. I mean, this is outrageous, and this should be on the front news, the front page of every newspaper, of every mainstream media should be talking about this, because these are our children. And again, as you all have said, they're failing, and this is and these teachers are having a good time doing. Having a good time. So we will continue to follow this, because Chicago is just a mess right now. We've been talking about it. It is a mess.